Now we move on to inversions of 7th chords and figured bass. And this is really just like what we saw with inversions of triads and figured bass. So we've got a root position 7th chord with the root in the bass. We pop this up an octave. Now the third is in the bass. We talk about first inversion. We raise this by an octave. That's as far as we got with the fifth in the bass because there weren't any other notes. But if I do this yet again, I have the third inversion with the seventh in the bass. So root position, first inversion, second inversion, third inversion. And I'm going to use figured bass exactly the same way that I did with triads. And I'm just going to, so there's going to be a full figured bass, which simply counts every interval. So 7, 6, 5, 3, 6, 4, 3, 6, 4, 2, okay? Actually, sorry. This, if I'm writing it out in full, this needs to be 7, 5, 3. So I simply identify the interval above the bass, above the lowest sounding note of each of the other notes. 7, 5, 3, 6, 5, 3, 6, 4, 3, 6, 4, 2, okay? As was the case with triads, I'm going to abbreviate these. So I'll write the abbreviations on top. It's going to be just 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 4, 2. Now, you will sometimes encounter the abbreviation of 6, 4, 2 simply as 2. And it, it's kind of neat. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Nice that way. But for a variety of reasons, that's not what we're going to use. For a third inversion 7th chord, we're always going to write out 4, 2. So the slightly longer form of the abbreviation. So that's something you should get used to. But be aware of what's going on if you see it a different way, or if you're working with a different instructor and they have a different expectation. As was the case with triads, if we go to the grand staff, we can dispose these notes in a number of different ways. All we care about is which note is on the bottom. So 2, 6, 5. We're in C major. The root is the D. The third of the chord is the lowest sounding note. So we use the subscripted or superscripted or just kind of beside, whatever, 6, 5. Or for a different one, okay? So the root is the G, G, B, D, F. The seventh is in the bass, so we use 4, 2 to indicate that the seventh is in the bass, that it's the third inversion of the 7th chord. And that's really all there is to figured bass and inversions of 7th chords.